What is going on, folks? Coming at you guys with some more Eminence heat. There's nothing better than it. I'm not gonna bore you too long in this intro because ever since TikTok, this generation acquired the attention span of a squirrel. And no, that's not a compliment. Anyways, Eminence In Shadow is currently my favorite isekai. I've watched Overlord, I've watched Mushiko, I've watched Slime. All great, all great. But nothing has compared, nothing has touched me. Nothing has reached my fantasy entertainment as much as Eminence In Shadow. It's the only isekai that I watched and was like, yo, I need to cop it. So I got the first 4 volumes of the manga so I don't spoil myself with the anime. So I got all 4. It's fire. And then check this out. I started second guessing myself. I was like, I'm so excited about this. I should give the other shows a chance. So what did I do? I went ahead and bought Mushiko Tensei so I could circle up, right? I looked at the back of this thing. Now I'm sending this shit right back. I'm sending this shit right back. Come on, man! I really shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised. But anyways, man, we're gonna jump into this video. If y'all like our content, make sure you smash a thumbs up, drop a comment, let us know, or let me know. It's just me. Anyways, eager to get this channel to, I think I have a goal of 15,000 by the end of the year. Eager to get it there, so I appreciate your support. Let's jump into this video, guys.
Blah blah, Gigguk likes isekai.
I'm shocked.
I want you to cast your mind back for a bit.
Of course, Mushiko Tensei.
Don't wait too far. It's summer holiday in 8th grade and you've just discovered anime. Mirai Nikki is close to peak. Akame Kill was the most tragic thing you'd ever seen. That scene where Kirito gets the second sword and shouts out, "Starburst or Stream!" was the goddamn coolest thing you'd ever seen, because of course it was. You were 13. Everything was cool. You didn't care about character development, you didn't think about story structure, you heard a
That's what Dragon Ball Z was
I'm a gamer. Not because I don't have a life, but because... but because I choose to have many. And you thought to yourself, damn, that's deep. I'm a gamer. Were you cringe? Hell yeah you were, but you know what? You enjoyed yourself, and that's what's important. Even if you can look back and think, God, what was I thinking?
I have no regrets!
When you find a show that stops trying to run away from that cringe.
Talk that talk!
The cringe, distills the cringe, knuckles down and envelops you in the edge-fest, high-intensity, full-blown world of cringe you thought you'd grown past and refuses to apologize about.
Yo, I feel the hype.
You get the Eminence In Shadow. Anime has been absolutely killing it lately. 2022 was not only full of surprises, but shows that push the boundary of anime. Modern classics that stamps their mark on the scene and will stay with us for years to come. Eminence In Shadow is not one of those shows. This is every 14-year-old teenage angsty fantasy turned up to 11.
Whoa, I got a little hype and I missed something.
With us for years to come. Eminence In Shadow is not one of those shows. This is every 14-year-old teenage angsty fantasy turned up to 11. It's edgy, it's horny. It might well just be the new king of trashy isekai, and it's by far the most goddamn fun I've had in the genre for years.
Okay.
ReZero, Slime.
Okay. Kinda got the wrong context for a bit.
In the past few years that absorb you into that intricate world and have shown us how truly great isekai can be.
Facts.
These 3 shows are the 3-star Michelin meals of isekai. This is Eminence In Shadow. And this is me.
Okay, I hear what he's saying, but this is a good thing.
Gigguk, do you fantasize about getting hit by a truck? Is this another case of me?
I actually do get a Walmart truck, particularly.
Okay, I haven't forgotten what good anime is. I still remember my best of 2022 anime list.
Good.
I still remember Chainsaw Man.
Good.
Which Chainsaw Man itself is having a collaboration with today's sponsor, Nikkei. Cool.
Oh yeah.
That's right, this video is sponsored by Nikkei, and we're working with them this month to let you all know about the hottest crossover this year, as Nikkei and Chainsaw Man are working together for the first time.
That's pretty dope.
Right, Chainsaw Man's most popular female characters are joining the Nikkei roster. Nikkei is an immersive sci-fi RPG featuring casual arcade shooter gameplay, and you can now recruit Power, Himeno, and most importantly, Makima to join your ultimate gun-wielding waifu team. The girls in Tokyo Division 4 have been seen in Nikkei's world through the Gatekeeper's dreams, which is very fitting, as Makima has crept into my dreams more than just a few times these last few months. Nikkei has given Makima, Power, and Himeno their own newly designed unique weapons that are different from the anime itself. Not only that, but during battle you'll be able to
witness pretty dope. I'm not gonna play it though.
Closely duplicated from Chainsaw Man, to a level never before seen in the game prior to this collaboration. That's not all though, as Nikkei itself now has a PC version available so you can play on a larger screen for more immersive gameplay, as well as new adaptive controls for a more traditional mouse and keyboard shooting experience. Of course, there's cross-platform support between PC and mobile for access to to convenient idle gameplay, freeing up your phone to scroll through pictures of Makima while you play Nikke. So, what are you waiting for? Head to the link in the description to download the game today to
That was pretty dope.
Nikke and Chainsaw Man collaboration in all its glory. Thank you to Nikke for sponsoring me today, and back to the video. I know what you're thinking, but look, it's been one.
All right, one thing I want to jump on it's and I hear what he's saying, but he's saying it the right way. It's the isekai trash, comparing it to junk food, right? But not as memorable as like Bochi. Love is War. I forgot what else he referenced to this point. Love is War. All right. I've been fighting on Love is War because I hype up Miss Nagatoro over Love is War. But Bochi versus Eminence In Shadow is gonna be more memorable than Bochi the Rock. I'm saying it, and I like Bochi the Rock. Anyways.
1 whole year since my last isekai video on this channel, and the
my God.
has to be paid. One girls have true crime, Gigguk has bullshit isekai. But contrary to popular belief, I don't just blindly recommend every trash isekai that airs every season.
Okay.
Before you go, yo, that's cap. This is my face when I'm saying it. Look at this serious face. Do you see how deathly serious I am taking this? I would never mislead you on something like this. This is a show that won't go down as a classic of anime. It doesn't have a lot in common with the isekai greats like we showed.
Classic though.
Eminence In Shadow
I hate this man.
Self-serving. You see what happens in it, and it's like.
I hate.
Well, see, Mushoku Tensei is more like. The plot goes like this. Sid Kagano is a man obsessed with. But unfortunately, he gets hit by a truck and dies. Reborn in a fantasy world, he continues his pursuit of power, secret organizations,
Oh, come on!
I give up. The big issue I've had when trying to talk about this show to anyone is that as soon as I open my mouth to explain anything that happens, I instantly lose anyone listening because everything that comes out of my mouth sounds fucking stupid.
No, he's right. I try to get my wife into it.
Sid makes up the most dumb, convoluted, fanfiction.net, Tumblr-ass plot developments he can think up on the spot, and it turns out to be true.
Yes.
The man has no investment in the people around him and what's going on.
Yes.
He's just role-playing his perfect isekai power fantasy story, and everyone in the world is forced to dance to his tune.
Yes.
On one side, he's Shadow, incarnation of vengeance, entity of the night, slayer of pussy. The man fucks without losing his virginity because he never loses. Shadow is a man who based their entire personality over listening to My Chemical Romance once. This is
Fire.
people who shopped at Hot Topics saw in their mind.
Fire.
Shadow's the type of guy who would say,
You know why they call it the Dead Sea?
why?
Because I killed it.
Yo, man, yo. But this is why it's brilliant. Come on, man. This is why it's brilliant. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna give more of my thoughts at the end of it. I didn't really become a hardcore fan until we got to Rose's part of the story. I was like, oh shoot, this is actually telling a story. But all right.
Sid Kagano, a guy devoted to being an invisible background character who won't stand out, won't attract attention, chasing his dream to be the ultimate real-life NPC, which...
Hey guys, I'm in New York City just hanging out.
What the hell?
Honestly, it's not hard to do nowadays.
What?
The thing is, he will refuse to break character no matter what. And I really mean no matter what.
Oh my God.
His sister gets kidnapped and tortured. His school is the target of a terrorist attack. There are classmates getting murdered around
Oh my
him
God,
left and
yeah.
right. And the first thing that goes through his mind is, alright boys, it's NPC time. How can I give myself the most pathetic death possible? As Shadow, he will literally commit to robbing a grand piano only to transport it to an underground cave so he can ominously play it with the lights beaming down for the ultimate edgelord look.
Yo, it's true.
The man is more dedicated.
This is actually part of the story where I was like, yo, I'm starting to really fucks heavy with
Daniel
it.
Day-Lewis a run for his money in his commitment to method acting. Oh, okay, so this is like a parody of Isekai? Kinda. Comedy is subjective.
Isekai, this
It's
is
a phrase
good.
people use when they're about to say they don't find something funny. Eminence In Shadow has some decent jokes here and there, though it can be hit or miss. Sometimes
True.
it'll do this thing where it'll spell out this overused trope and pass it off as a joke, which is something I've always despised, but sometimes it can play around with our expectations in amusing ways. We've all watched that scene where the main character accidentally goes in the hot spring, sees the girl, she goes, gets angry, blah blah.
Yes,
Alright, here's
but the
what
Eminence
happens.
doesn't do it like that.
Into hot spring. It's the girl's hot spring. Doesn't acknowledge the girl. Flexes his pee-pee. Refuses to elaborate further. This is a show that is not afraid to play around with tropes we're familiar with.
Yo, nah. I'm actually appreciating this video because it actually gives me further appreciation for the comedy, right? It was a good scene. I knew that was a good scene in the bathtub. It was hilarious. In fact, I was more impressed with Sid than I was Alexia. I had to question my own sexuality. But to see how it was playing with the trope but did its own version of it in a way that's not normal, Nah, it's good. Good. Nah. Thank you.
With and subvert our expectations to varying degrees of success. But what I found more impressive, and a hell of a lot more amusing, is how hard it commits to its own bullshit act. It makes fun of itself while doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling the fuck down on all the cheesy, cringe-ass moments we roll our eyes at in your typical trashy power fantasy isekai. Beyond being a straight-up parody, it's just entirely self-aware. You find yourself not taking the show too seriously,
Facts.
then end up being completely invested in all the dumb shit that ends up happening. They say that love and hate are two halves with the same coin, but Eminence In Shadow proves that the exact same thing is true with cringe and cool. Because what happens when you take all those cringe scenes that would only appeal to an edgy 13-year-old, distill it, rev up the stupidity to 100, does it somehow become cool again? This is what Eminence In Shadow asks, and I think there's one scene that encapsulates everything this show's about. So if you don't want to be spoiled for episode 5, just skip ahead.
Yeah.
Sid has always been obsessed with becoming powerful. In his past life, he was already pretty OP.
Yeah.
The man dedicated himself to being Batman without all the fancy gadgets.
Yeah,
He had
without
trained
money.
enough to take down any
Jeez.
thug he encountered.
Can't stop a
So
nuke
what?
though.
No matter how much a mortal can train, there are still limits to what you can achieve. What if he went up against a firing squad? What if someone dropped a nuclear bomb on you? No matter how much you develop your muscles, hone your mind, perfected your skills, if someone comes along with a nuclear bomb, you'd be instantly vaporized.
That's just
So
Clark
he
Kent.
thought. Because, reincarnated in the new world, he refused to give up on his dream. There was still a height he had yet to attain. So, after years upon years of training, he arrived at but a single solution. That's right. If I don't want to be vaporized by a nuclear explosion, I must simply become the nuke.
Atomic. Yo. Shout out to the VA. Oh, even I was getting hyped, man. I can't pronounce this dude's name, so I didn't want to try, but shout out, brother. Damn. Yo. Wait. This is an example of what I was talking about earlier. When I was like, yo, this is fire! And I was really trying to get my wife on it, because she's like, why do you find this so interesting, right? And I was like, look! He's nuking a whole city, right? Like, just because he can, right? This guy's awesome! And she's just like, you're insane. You are insane. This is just like this guy. You really can't tell anybody about it. They just have to watch it.
The fuck did I just watch?
Yeah.
What is this?
What, he's making fun of this?
Times New Roman. Why is this so entertaining? This doesn't try to differentiate itself from the typical power fantasy
He just knows.
isekai. This fully commits to being the power fantasy isekai. Then goes 10 steps further beyond what is necessary. He is stupidly OP. He's never in any real danger. He'll say cringe lines and pass them off as the coolest thing ever
Facts.
said. You think other isekai protagonists specialize in having their own harem? Well, not
No.
only does every influential figure happen to be a cute girl who of course ends up falling for him, but
Yeah.
he's goddamn built an entire shadow organization.
Yes!
Zero boys allowed. Alpha.
No boys
Beta,
allowed.
Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Eta, Zeta, Sigma.
Jeez.
Created his own harem institute of hundreds, not dozens, hundreds of superpowered waifus that end up amassing so much wealth and power that they end up influencing the world stage.
Oh
And
my
he did
gosh.
this by complete accident.
Yes.
Part of all this is having to see everyone in the
No.
world take Sid's bullshit role-playing 100% seriously. This is a fully functioning fantasy land with nations vying for power, secret organizations manipulating the global politics. Characters are in a life or death struggle
Yes.
to defend the homeland they
Yes.
love, and then along comes this dude. Countries pour their resources into figuring out what exactly is Shadow Garden, who's in it, what do they want, what are their goals and motivations,
Yeah.
how does their presence affect the world, and meanwhile Sid's just there like, hee shut him out power. Everyone is playing Game of Thrones while Sid is playing Dungeons and Dragons, except he is every dungeon master's worst nightmare. Someone who just makes shit up as he goes along, breaks every rule of the game,
Love it.
ignores the big shiny thing that is shouting, "This is the plot!"
Love
He's
it.
incapable
This
of
is the
rolling
plot.
anything but nat 20. And so everything he ends up doing has real
This is fire.
consequences to the world around him.
True.
A lot of people have
He doesn't
compared this
care.
to Overlords, but I think this is actually closer to Isekai One Punch Man. And I'm going to be honest, part of the reason
like
making
that.
this video is because I'm praying that this doesn't stop at just 2 seasons. Yeah, I'm excited to get more of the Isekai greats, but for the love of God, give me 5 more double Big Mac meals of this, please.
Yes.
Eminence In Shadow is a series that should not work, but somehow it does.
Yes.
This is what happens when every single
Now this man
person watching an
understands.
anime absolutely understands.
This man understands.
It's a series which gives absolutely zero fucks in being cringy, edgy, or childish. Sid is a man who laughed so hard it became reality, but the more you watch, the more you get sold him as bullshit. It throws at you every trope, every cliche, every eye-rolling corny line you've ever heard in your life, and you end up eating that shit up like it's the first time you've ever seen an anime. This is what happens when you reach the peak of trashy, entertaining isekai, and I don't know what more it can do to reach even greater heights.
I don't want to be the last boss. I want to be the one in the story who operates from the shadows.
Oh, Dub though. Ugh. Sorry, Dub. Fire though.
Eminence In Shadow.
Okay, now it's perfect.
The Dub! Ah! Dope. All right. Anyways, I got nothing, man. I know I got things to say. Nah, this was a good video. Sometimes I would struggle when he would go in and he would call it trash, but good trash, and he wants to eat that trash up. I didn't truly have an appreciation for the term isekai trash, literally until, I believe it was Skeleton Knight that we were about to watch, and people were calling it trash, but they were gonna watch it anyways. And I was like, you guys call this stuff trash, and you guys are willing to watch it. And they're like, yes. Yo, Eminence In Shadow is that thing. All right, let me talk to you about my journey with Eminence In Shadow. When I first was watching it, right, I kind of felt like this was like any other show, right? I felt it was like Slime. You have an overpowered person, so I kind of felt it was like Slime and Overlord, right? And I think that's because I really wasn't understanding the humor, you know what I mean? Like, even like the hot tub scene, you see, it dances with the tropes. He's explaining it very well. It dances with the tropes that you know, but it just does its own thing with it in a way that is truly unexplainable. So the more I was watching it, the more I'm like, nah, this really isn't like anything else. And the only reason that you could compare it to anything else is it's literally making fun of the tropes or utilizing the tropes, right? So you would think it's like everything else, but it's like, no, it's a show that constantly makes fun of or utilizes tropes. That's what it does. It's intentionally doing that. I haven't watched Gintamina, but I understand that even that show does that. They're making fun of something right now, but I haven't actually watched. I just saw a Reanimated tweet about it. So like, it's a normal thing. I'm gonna make fun of all these tropes. So the dumb viewer, which is me, is like, this show is like everything else. Look at all these tropes. I've seen these tropes before. And I'm like, you idiot. That's the point of the show, is to utilize all these tropes that you're familiar with because they're funny and pushes a story, and they're gonna utilize these tropes way differently than anybody else does. And I started to appreciate it. And then we got to Rose's story, and I don't know, man, there was something really deep and meaningful about it between Rose and Alexia's sister. I think it's Iris is her name. So Alexia's sister's going through her thing. She's really fighting for her to be strong and protect her kingdom. And you got this fool Sid over here just ruining everything she's working for. And it's just a joke to him. There was actually times when I'm watching Sid, I'm like, yo, this guy is trash. He's absolutely trash. And that was the other thing. I don't necessarily like Sid's choices. I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you nuking this? And those kind of things sometimes bother me, right? But I certainly want his life. I certainly want his life. Yo, the guy said it just as beautifully as it could ever be said. He is surrounded by a harem. Surrounded by it, right? So it's like, yo, who doesn't want that? He has no dudes in the organization. No dudes? Who wouldn't want it? And that was the other thing, man. So when I'm encountering Iris and I'm encountering Rose, I want to save these shawties. I want to save it, but they stuck with this dude named Sid, man. So for me, half of my journey is Sid is doing these cool stuff, and I want to be in that world. And that's what separates it from me compared to like Mushoku Tensei, Overlord, Slime, and they put a ReZero. Those are dope stories, especially ReZero. ReZero is a fantastic story, but I don't want to put myself there, right? I don't want to be Subaru. I don't want nothing to do with Subaru's life. I don't want nothing to do with those world. All them green ladies that he's with, I don't want no problems. I don't want to be anywhere part of that. Overlord Ainz, I ain't trying to be part of his crew. They crazy. Rudy, I ain't trying to really be too close to Rudy, right? Sid, I like him. I like his world, so to speak. as far as it goes. And it's a dope power fantasy, and that's what we're talking about. So I'm the kind of guy that likes to think about things and, you know, wait for the event to happen and then work on how I rehearsed it to be, you know? And he does the same things. Obviously, I would do things differently. So once you start relating with it, which I did, and I did it, I think it was around like episode 16, I started really relating around it. I was like, oh, this is dope. And then when I gone through on the reading, I actually became one of those people that appreciate the manga more than the anime. But I'm not gonna spoil myself and get ahead because I do blind reactions. So anyways, yo, this is fire, man. This is fire. I am looking forward to Mushoku Tensei to see if that recency bias of Eminence holds, right? And we're gonna see. Anyways, man, thanks for supporting this channel. Recommend you support this gentleman if you haven't came across this channel. I'm not gonna pronounce his name because I'm terrible with names. Anyways, man, I'm active on Twitter. I'm active on Instagram. I'm active on the socials in the description of this video, man. So I look forward to seeing you guys or connecting more with you guys. Let me know what you guys want to see more of on this channel, any other videos that you guys want me to check out, and we'll go from there. I'm out. Later. Also, look, a light novel just came in. Niggas is reading now. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for subscribing to this channel. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, please go ahead and do so. The link is in the description of this video, and I actually tweet back. Much love, Yaboyrocklee.